Hi, it's Lynn and
Samantha
from Teaching Kids Programming.
You've just finished the SimpleSquare recipe. We're going to go over it one more time, just to catch up on some of the stuff we learned.
So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to translate the first line of English into code. And Samantha, can you read that out for me?
Show the tortoise, number 1.
And the verb in that sentence is?
Show.
And the noun is?
Tortoise.
So in programming, unlike in English, we start with the noun. And so I'm going to start typing that. And one of the things that you want to do when you're working with your coding environment is you want to use your tools. And so you want to auto-complete this. And to do that, you want to use a keyboard shortcut. And that keyboard shortcut is?
Control space.
And here we can see the tortoise in the list. And so we just press the Enter key, and that will complete the tortoise. Now, unlike in English, where we separate our words with spaces, in programming, we separate them with dots. So I'm going to put a dot, and then I'm going to do that keyboard shortcut again, which is?
Control space.
And then I'm going to just use my arrow key to arrow down and look for the verb. And what is that verb again, Samantha?
Show. Just press Enter.
Yep, great. And we're missing something. In English, you end your sentences with periods, but I bet you can tell me, Samantha, how you end our statements in Java.
With semicolons.
Great. And then we have no errors, so we're going to go ahead and run this. And to do that, we're just going to click on the button that says Run Application and save our file. And then we click on the blue link, which will open a new window, and it's going to show us our turtle. Now, one of the things you're going to want to do is close this X here because we have a utility where we can see what you're doing on your screen. And in order to see it, you have to close this window with this X, close it here, and then click this button. Now, once we've translated a line of comments into Java and run it, what do we do with the comments, Samantha?
We can just highlight the line and press backspace.
Great. And so the next line we want to translate is not the one underneath it, but it's the one with the next number. And the reason we do this is so that you can see that you've translated it correctly. So that's line 14 on the side here, but has a 2 at the end. So can you read that out for me, Samantha?
Move the tortoise 50 pixels.
Okay, now how do I start? What do I start with here?
The noun, which is tortoise, T-O-R.
And after the dot, I should do?
Control space.
And I should be looking for the verb. What's the verb here?
It is move.
And then I have to put a number in. So how many pixels is it that I want the tortoise to move?
50.
And of course I need what at the end?
A semicolon.
Okay, and now I have no errors. So how do I run this again? How do I see it?
Just click the green run button at the top.
And I know it's ready because I see the
blue link.
And I can see I've got a moving tortoise. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Now the next one I have to do is on which line number over here?
Looks like 16.
And can you read that out for me?
It says, turn the tortoise to the right 90 degrees.
So of course I know I start with tortoise. And then what is the verb I'm looking for?
Looks like it's turn.
What's the keyboard shortcut that I use?
Control space.
And then I'm just going to type a T because that's going to make the list shorter. And I'm going to turn degrees to the right. And how many degrees to the right am I going to turn?
90.
And now I'm going to go ahead and run this. And of course I know it's ready when I see the blue link. Now why do we always have to run it every time, Samantha? Why do we do that?
Just to make sure we did the last line right.
Well, is that important? I mean, why shouldn't we just translate everything rather than running it after each one? What happens in programming if you don't run it after each one?
If you translated everything and something went wrong, you don't know where something went wrong.
Oh, good point. Okay. So now we're on this line right here, line 13. So can you read that out for me?
Change the pen color of the line the tortoise draws to blue.
So here we are at the change the pen color. So we're going to do control space, and then we're going to do a set. And what looks like it's going to do it for us here, Samantha?
Well, the only one with color in it is set pen color.
And then we're going to go ahead and use the Java color, and then we'll do control space, and we'll use blue. And then we'll set a semicolon, and then we'll go ahead and save and run that. Let me go ahead and run this. See if we have a blue line. We do. And now, of course, we know what to do. We're going to stop our runner by clicking this button right here. So now we want to do the following 4 times. And which lines of Java, Samantha, do we want to do 4 times?
16, 17, and 19.
We just want to do these 3 lines 4 times. So we want to copy and paste. So there's keyboard shortcuts there. What are they?
Command C.
And then I'm going to paste, and that's going to be?
Command V.
Great. And if it were a PC instead of the command, I would use what key?
The control key.
And notice I'm putting this on a new line. So check me. Do I have this 4 times?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to save it and then I'm going to run it because I want to see what it does. Now we're going to go ahead and run it. And wow, it's a square. Super cool. Now, one of the things about programming is there's more than one way that you can do something. So if we only had 4 sides, it's pretty easy to copy and paste it. But there's a word in programming that you can use to have the computer do things more than once. So first we're going to get us back to our state that we were in. And we can do that by doing control and what? Or command and what key to undo?
Command Z.
Okay, so I'll put my cursor here and I'll go Command Z, Command Z, Command Z. It gets me all the way back. Okay, so now if you read out line 14 for me, Samantha.
Do the following 4 times.
The keyword in Java that we're going to use here is the for keyword. And when we have the for keyword, we're going to then do the command space, and that's going to give us our options in terms of our templates. And we're going to just pick the first one, and we're going to start at 0. And how many times do we want to repeat the actions in lines 19, 20, and 21?
4 times.
Okay, so if we start at 0, where should we be ending?
3. Oh, right, because if you start from 0, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, and that's 4.
Now, another thing is in Java where the statements start and end, we also use these curly braces. So you see there's a curly brace here and a curly brace here. And if we were to run this, it wouldn't do anything 4 times because the lines that we need it to use are not in there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut those, and then we're going to paste those back in. Do you remember the keyboard shortcuts?
Well, to cut is Command X, and paste Command V.
Great. So I've gotten rid of my empty space. Looks really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. And what do you think should happen when I'm running this?
Probably the same thing that happened when we copied and pasted.
But we want to take a look and see. So we click the blue link, and we're looking for that square again. This is why we verify.
It looks like we didn't do it enough times.
And this is such a common error in programming that we wanted to build it in and show it to you. So let's go ahead and run it again. Now you have to look carefully to understand this, because if you look at what's in the for loop here, we're saying that the value is less than 4, not equal to 4. Now let's run it, and we fixed our mistake. Super cool. Now we have one last line of English. Can you read that out for me?
Make the tortoise move as fast as possible.
And of course we start with what?
The noun, tortoise.
And then we have what to separate our nouns and verbs?
A dot.
Okay, and then I'm going to do a control space, and I'm going to look for a make. Oh, there's no make. I pressed M. So what else should I look for here?
Well, we are changing the speed, so maybe something was set.
Oh, that's a good idea. So set. Oh, there I see it. Set speed. Okay. So let me go ahead and put the speed in, and 10 is fastest, and I'll put that in. And now we'll save it. Oh, it's already done. We'd have to set it slower to see it animate. We're going to pause the video and we're going to add some variations and fun. That's in the second part of our first lesson, so you can see some of the cool things that you can make. So here we added a whole bunch of crazy stuff, and we're just going to run it and show you what we made. Hey, it's Lynn and
Samantha
from Teaching Kids Programming. You are using Codenvy and Teaching Kids Programming TKP Java courseware. We hope you had a great time. Keep learning and keep
programming.
Have a great day.